one of the factors, not the factors, but one of the factors would be the parent's affirmation of a child.
It is therefore important that all parents have to do what you say they have to do with regards to how they should interact with their child in the case of a
Ruslan.
You hear about California's bill they're trying to pass, AB 957. If you don't affirm your child's gender, you can be arrested for child abuse, and schools and churches can be fined for not agreeing. Let's look this up. I've heard about it. I haven't heard a lot about it, but let's look this up. And is this going to be something that we get to vote in? Because I could tell you right now, here's the thing about California that people don't understand. People think that California is a daggone, is LA and San Francisco. California is not LA and San Francisco. Okay, California is San Diego, which is very different than LA and San Francisco. California is Orange County. California is the Inland Empire. California is very different. Okay, so if this is a bill they're trying to bring before the voters, probably not going to pass. Okay, it's probably not going to pass. But I am curious on what this bill is, so I will look at it. Okay, so this is titled California Bill Aimed at Protecting LGBTQ plus Youth Encourages Parents to Affirm Their Child's Gender Identity. My gosh.
Gender identity.
Eyewitness News reporter Sophie Flay is here with a look at the measure and how it aims to protect LGBTQ plus youth in this specific sort of legal context. Sophie.
Mark, Colleen, a gender-affirming bill was passed during the California Senate Judiciary Committee meeting today. This bill would classify parents in custody battles as abusive if they refuse to affirm their child's gender identity. We spoke to the California Assembly.
So they said in custody battles. In custody battles. So this is someone in a custody battle, okay?
A new bill introduced by California Assemblymember Lori D. Wilson aims to protect LGBTQ plus youth when family courts are deciding on visitation and custody rights to their legal guardians.
If you have a child going through that system, a judge has discretion, like they do looking at the totality of circumstances related to the health, safety, and welfare of a child, to consider different factors. One of the factors, not the factors, but one of the factors would be the parent's affirmation of a child.
This is a sickness of the highest order.
I'm disappointed in my state, ladies and gentlemen. Which, by the way, the funny thing about this sort of stuff is I vaguely remember California was in all this hoopla about passing reparations. And then when it actually made it up to Governor Newsom, all of a sudden, that was off the table. So I don't really know what to make of some of this goofy stuff. I don't know what to make of some of it, because I feel like there's a lot of patronizing, a lot of very goofy stuff that happens, and then when it comes down to it, they go, we were just playing.
Of the child's gender identity.
The Transgender, Diverse, and Intersect Youth Empowerment Act, AB 957, would...
That was a mouthful. Y'all got to get it together. Usually the folks running these things got way better branding and media, but that was a mouthful. Y'all got to fix that. That just sounds like a bunch of nonsense.
Require family courts to consider gender affirmation. This is Wilson's son, Kyron. Wilson is the first California elected official with an out child. This bill would classify parents in custody battles as abusive if they refuse to affirm their child's gender identity.
Darkness. Seeing that this group in particular is being targeted, and it's hurtful, it's painful, and recognizing that this is such a small subset of our population. It is a minority part of our population, and we have people who have power who are targeting such a vulnerable portion of our population.
This is a sickness of the highest order.
So because your child is going through this, it is therefore important that all parents have to do what you say they have to do with regards to how they should interact with their child in the case of a custody situation. That sounds a lot like you are trying to force your views on people who aren't really into your views. I say this all the time. This is just fundamentalism inverted. This is the stuff they were angry about when Christians made up the moral majority and got political. And this is stuff they still, by the way, they still cry about with regards to Christian nationalism, which by the way, I'm not a Christian nationalist. I like to think of myself as patriotic. I love this country and I'm a Christian, but I don't think I'm a Christian nationalist. I don't think I've made it on that radar yet. But this is pretty annoying if you think about it.
Hey, you want to see something kind of crazy? Over 75% of the people that watch this channel are not subscribe. Please consider subscribing and turning your bell notification on so that you don't miss anything we have going here.
According to the Trevor Project, 45% of plus youth considered attempting suicide in the past year. More than half of them transgender and non-binary. Grassroots organizations oppose this law all over the state, including Los Angeles.
I think it's fascinating how, because they've considered self-deletion, that therefore that has to be instantly attributed to someone not affirming them as they want to be affirmed. Or they attempted or thought about attempting self-deletion because there's something unsettled in their soul and in their spirit, and that needs to be addressed, not the external world needing to affirm them the way they want to be affirmed. Correlation isn't equal causation, right? Instant fallacy of any data when you look at it, and they do this repeatedly with this conversation.
Los Angeles.
There is no nuance in this bill. It matters not the age of the child, the absurdity of the identity, adopted comorbid mental health issues, or persistence.
And I'm a concerned parent, concerned about mental health of our children, and I am against this bill.
It will be up to the judge to determine how gender affirming or supportive of gender and identity a parent is.
And in today's hearing, there was some discussion about possible amendments to this bill. It will now head to the California State Senate floor for a vote.
There was a case of a woman who is suing the school district because of this sort of stuff. I think this is a massive L for the state of California. But listen, this is what I would say with regards to this. And this is not going to be a popular take. Okay, and this is the take that all my red pill adjacent people are going to hate. This is why you choose very carefully who you are going to procreate with. This is why you choose very carefully the person you are going to marry. This is why you choose very carefully to remain the leader, the priest, provider, protector of your home. This is why you choose very carefully to do everything you can to tip the scales in your favor so that you're never in a situation where you have to deal with a custody case like this. Because if you choose the wrong person and they go off the rails, and they slide into this nonsensical gender ideology that the kid starts gathering from social contagion or whatever, and then now you're trying to fight for your kid, right? Let's do what we can to prevent this stuff in who we choose to settle down with, in who we choose to recreate with, in how we choose to build our homes and our families, right? That, to me, let's do the things on the front end, because I think the government is going to be dumb and stupid and incompetent. Generally speaking, I think they're dumb, stupid, and incompetent. That doesn't mean we shouldn't be working towards influence. Doesn't mean we shouldn't be pushing back on this stuff. That just means, hey, maybe we should be focused on the things that we can control. And the more we can control, the better we can tip the scales in our favor. So that because here's the thing. It is statistically, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but by the grace of God, it is statistically extremely unlikely that I would ever be in a situation where I have to deal with this sort of nonsense. Statistically extremely unlikely that I would ever be in a situation. Now, I'm not saying that in an arrogant sense. I'm just saying that in a practical sense, that I've done everything I can to tip the scales in my favor, that I would never have to deal with a situation like that, where a law like that would ever affect me. And I would encourage you guys, build your lives in the same way, to the best of your ability, with the resources you have.
Hey, this is a segment from our daily after party stream. Consider partnering with us online for as little as $5 a month to get access to these daily after party streams completely unedited. You'll also get access to our podcast as they are streamed live into the community before anyone else gets to see them, get to interact with our guests, get access to our private Discord server, and a discount code for our store for as little as $5 a month. Ultimately, that will help towards helping us continue contextualizing the gospel using media and podcast here on YouTube. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.